What is up, YouTube? It's Lions Fan Express coming at you with that man-to-man press. And in today's video, we're going to do a Devon Witherspoon draft profile. He's kind of a fan favorite, and I'm pretty high on him myself. A lot of Lions fans like him, and I kind of thought we look at to see why. He's a really good prospect for the Detroit Lions. Definitely embodies Detroit and has a gritty and aggressive play on the field that I think Dan Campbell is definitely looking for in his players. So. We're just going to kind of break it down and take a look at it. So Devon Witherspoon, he's 6'1", 180 pounds. He's from Pensacola, Florida. And in 2022, he had 33 solo tackles, 3 interceptions, and 14 pass deflections playing for the Fighting Illini in Illinois.
That's what Brett's saying. That's not reviewable. Oh, doctor. First pass is...
So some of his strengths, that kind of really just pops off of the tape is that he's just aggressive. He's physical. He's good at breaking up passes. You look at his footwork is actually pretty good too, and allowing him to change directions with ease. When it comes to tackling, he's a good form tackler, and he has good hit power. And then also he's a tough, instinctive ball player who plays with his heart. Definitely, like I said, definitely has those intangibles that you look for in a player. And then when it comes to like actually playing the ball, like on zone or man coverage, he gets his eyes up and his head turned to locate the ball when it's in the air for interceptions, because he had, like I said, like 3 or 4 interceptions this year. He can flip his hips and run with receivers as well. And then he also just plays with good technique. Just all of those things that really kind of embodies him and makes him a really great cornerback in this draft class. Not to mention, he didn't allow a single touchdown this season. So obviously he's doing something right if he's locking up receivers like that.
He's going to the air, taking a bit of a shot, but it's intercepted. Illinois picks it off. It's Devon Witherspoon. And Witherspoon still on his feet.
Some of his things that he could improve on, or just, kind of raise a little bit of a red flag is obviously like his height and his size. He's listed at 6'1", but I think he's probably more like 5'11" and a half, maybe 6 feet with cleats on. So is he big enough to, and only 180 pounds, so is he big enough to play on the outside? He's built more like a nickel or almost more like a safety in that aspect when it comes to at least, the physicality or the, physical measurements. So he doesn't match up well with some of the other cornerbacks in this class when it comes to size, but he does make up with it with technique and aggressiveness and willingness to go and make plays. He does take poor pursuit angles when he's tracking the ball carrier, which does lead to some missed tackles as well. And he can also get a little overly aggressive with his hands, which leads to penalties. Definitely something that you can't do in the NFL. They'll definitely flag you right away if you're getting too handsy with the receivers. And also he's a little flat-footed as well. So when you look at his draft projection, though, basically I am really high on him as a prospect. I don't have him as my top cornerback in this class. I actually have Joey Porter Jr. ahead of him. But when it comes to him, Christian Gonzalez, and Joey Porter Jr., I mean, it's really your flavor of cornerback, which one you want. Do you want a big hitter like Devon Witherspoon that can go up and make plays and hit hard and tackle and definitely cover receivers and be aggressive? If you want someone like that, then Devon Witherspoon is definitely your guy. And he plays like a safety at the cornerback position, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I mean, again, if worse comes to worse, if you draft him and cornerback doesn't work out, you could move with the safety and he'd play amazing, in my opinion. I really do think that he's built in his aggressiveness and his willingness to hit and tackle and be aggressive. Those are all traits of a safety. But he also has the coverage of a corner. Like, you don't see him getting burnt a whole lot. Like, he does sometimes give up some yards, but not giving up any touchdowns in a whole season is actually pretty impressive as well. So basically, he's a fun player to watch. And I think he can make an immediate impact in the right scheme in the NFL. When you look as specifically for a fit for a team, the Detroit Lions really does stand out because we're in need of a desperate need of a corner, and I think that he definitely could provide some relief in that aspect. Whether it's on the outside or in the slot. I think he can be a little bit versatile in that aspect as well, but I just, the only thing that does concern me is just, again, his size. Is he going to be able to go against bigger, stronger, more physical receivers in the NFL? And it's just going to be something that you're going to have to wait and see because You're not it's not every day that you're going against the DK Metcalfs of the world. He's a freak in his own right. But when it comes to like other receivers, is he able to adapt his game so he doesn't get too handsy and get a lot of PIs called on him? Because again, right now in his game, you could just see in his game he's really aggressive, and that's fine. But after 5 yards, you can't be aggressive like that. You can't hold. You can't tug on the jersey. You can't. You have to turn and locate the ball. All those things add up, and it's like I could definitely see him being a little bit of a penalty magnet maybe early in his career, so he kind of learns to adjust to the NFL and kind of clean those things up. But overall, Devon Witherspoon, I mean, like I said, he's a dog. I'd love to have him on the Detroit Lions, and he just fits the mold of what Dan Campbell and this coaching staff is looking for. He's a gritty player. He's aggressive. He's strong, and just physical. And it's playing in the Big Ten too. It's not a fluff conference. You play against a lot of good teams that like to run the ball, and it's shown that he'll come up and make tackles. He's not afraid to do that. So ultimately, if the Lions draft Devon Witherspoon, definitely wouldn't be upset with that. Again, in my opinion, I think 6 is a little rich for a cornerback. If I was, Dan Campbell or Brad Holmes, I'd try to maybe trade back a little bit, get him somewhere in between that sweet spot between 9 and 12, because I don't think he's going to last anything outside of that. Could he be the first cornerback taken in the draft? Absolutely. He definitely has the traits you look for in a corner, other than ideal size and weight. So, we're just gonna have to wait and see. But I'm very excited, to see him in the combine and his pro days. Got to, it was unfortunate that we weren't able to see him in the Senior Bowl, but I mean his stock was already kind of high, so it kind of would have made sense for him to go and show out at the Senior Bowl when he already has a pretty high stock and it's continuing to rise. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think. Do you guys like Devon Witherspoon? Do you think he's a good fit for the Detroit Lions? I've talked to quite a bit of Lions fans. They seem really high on him, like myself. Again, I don't think you go wrong with either of those top 3 cornerbacks, but if the Lions decided to go Devon Witherspoon, I think he'd be an automatic upgrade to the secondary as well. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. And thank you guys for just supporting the channel, subscribing, and being a part of this. It really means a lot to me. And then, just going to keep pushing out some videos and some content. And so we'll look forward to that. And as always, go Lions.